Hi everyone, I hope you're all having a wonderful weekend. The weather is absolutely beautiful here if you're in the Northeast. As you know that it's been phenomenal. Today I would like to talk about processed food. And you might ask yourself, what is a processed food? And we have this idea in our head of what a processed food is, right? It's something out of a box. It's like cookies and crackers and things. But if you think about it, technically anything, unless it is something that you go out and you pick it straight off the vine or you pick it right out of your garden and put it in your mouth and eat it, technically everything is processed at some point. So even the fruits and vegetables that you get at the grocery store, they've been picked from the field, they've been washed, they've been packaged, they've been shipped to the store. So that is technically processing. Even if you hunt and you kill an animal for food, unless you're just gonna start gnawing on it right there, you have to gut it, you have to clean it, you have to skin it and butcher it into its cuts. That's processing. That is very, very minimal processing. And so we've got the very minimal processing, we've got the super minimal processing, like what I was just talking about, and then we've got minimal processed, and then we've got ultra processed foods. And that's what we think about when we think of processed foods. Like other minimally processed foods are things like canned goods, canned vegetables, they're frozen vegetables, dried fruits, dried grains like rice. Those are all minimally processed foods, and that's what you should be eating. Not that ultra processed foods don't have their place, because they can, and I'm talking about things like, the recent things that have been going on in the world kind of, showed a need for some of these processed foods that have long shelf lives. We stocked up on things like protein bars that, they're highly processed, but they're not, as processed foods go, they're not terrible for you. Would I rather be eating something else? Yeah, sure. But, when you think the world is coming to an end, as some of us did, that's the kind of stuff you're going to stock up on. And so they do have their place. There are other processed foods that just don't have a place. They have no nutritional value whatsoever. And I'm talking about things like chips and crackers and that kind of stuff that just, that are highly, highly palatable, that you just want to eat entire family-sized bags of. And a lot of people do, because it's so palatable, and they're really carb heavy, so they're going to run through your system really quickly, and you're going to be hungry again rather soon after eating them. These companies, their whole purpose is to get you to eat more of their product, right? So they have put tons and tons of money into studies and studying what people want to eat, what flavor combinations people want to eat and eat more of and not be able to stop eating. And that's where the problem lies. And I think that if people kind of stopped and took a step back and looked at what they're eating on a daily basis, and if it comes out of a box, if it comes out of a bag, even if it says that it's, a healthy alternative or whatever, it's still got a whole lot of extra stuff in it that doesn't need to be there, and chances are you're going to eat a whole lot more of it than you should. When you switch over to whole foods that, you know, are minimally processed, there have been studies that have shown that you just naturally eat less. It's more satisfying, you're not as hungry, and it's not as palatable, so you don't want to eat as much of it. Your body realizes when you've had enough, whereas like the really highly processed foods, they kind of trick your body into being more hungry. One, because it tastes really, really good. And two, because you're not getting the nutrients that you need. And so your body's like, well, I don't have everything that I need. So I need more. I need more food because I'm not getting all of the micronutrients that I need. And these highly processed foods don't have the micronutrients that you need. They're just empty carbs and sodium, that really have like zero nutritional value. And those are the types of things that like pretty much nobody should be eating. And so I would encourage everyone to, you know, like stop and take a step back and look at what you're eating on a daily basis and say, if it comes out of a box or a bag, can I give it up? Can I go without it? You know, a good place to start is things like soda. Like, can I live without drinking soda? I personally have not drank soda in years, and I actually, the few times that I've had it in the last like 10 or 15 years, I have found it to be disgusting. I can't drink it anymore. It's syrupy and it's just too sweet. Like, and not even like, and I'm a fan of maple syrup. I mean, that's as sweet as it gets. But there's something about the syrupiness and the sweetness of soda that's just not, I find it, I can't do it anymore. And I haven't been able to do it, like I said, for about 10 or 15 years. It's been a long time since I've drank soda on a regular basis. You know, and then like kind of look at what you're eating and ask yourself, like, the things that you get all the time, can I give these up? And what's, you know, a whole foods alternative? Like, instead of reaching for a bag of chips, can you reach for an apple? And I know that this stuff is kind of like, oh, blah, blah, blah. Like, you know, it's ridiculous. Like, you know, I've heard it all before, you know, eat an apple instead of a bag of chips. I know, I get it. But when I started doing this for myself, and I have had an ice cream addiction for my entire life. I mean, something that I ate every single day, like every single day. It was part of my meal. It was part of my dinner, my evening meal. And I, you know, it started small. I started only getting a certain kind, and then I stopped having it except for on the weekends, and I would get myself like a pint for the weekend. And you know, so that I wasn't tempted during the week. And then I got to a point where I realized, you know what? I don't really like the way this makes me feel the next day after I've eaten it. And that was pretty much when I, for the most part, gave it up. I mean, I still have it once in a while, you know, for special occasions, whatever. Like we went apple picking yesterday and I got a creamy. But I don't eat it on a regular basis anymore like I used to. And I literally, like I said, I ate it every single day. And a big bowl of it too. It wasn't just like a couple of teaspoons or a couple of tablespoons full. It was like a lot. So, and I think you'll find that once you know, kind of slowly give these things up, you'll find that you don't want them anymore. You'll find that when you do eat them, you know, pay attention to how you feel, and you'll realize maybe this is why I don't feel well. You know, maybe this is why I'm really tired the next day, because I ate, you know, a pint of ice cream last night, right? Because it messes with your sleep a little bit. Your body is like working off all of those calories, all those empty calories. And you realize that it's not, you don't feel as well. But that's my personal experience. And, so instead of ice cream at night, usually I'll grab an apple, literally, or a plum, or I drink a cup of like sweet, like licorice tea or something sweet, a tea that's sweet, that kind of like, give me that sweetness that I'm craving, but without all of the extra stuff, So anyway, I hope that helps, gives a little bit of insight into how to go about, maybe weaning yourself off of some of these highly processed foods that, you really don't need to be eating. And I hope that, it can help some people out there who are trying to do that. And so anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this. If you did, please share it. Subscribe to my channel. You can also find me on Facebook, and you can find me on Instagram. And I am going to go hit the gym right behind me. It's still a mess. For a shortened workout today, because I am really tired. I stayed up too late last night. We all make mistakes, right? I tried not to, and then my mom and I just kept talking, and I stayed with my parents last night, and didn't get to bed till about midnight, and then woke up at 6 o'clock this morning because I can't sleep past that these days. So I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your weekend and a wonderful start to your week. And I will see you on Wednesday for a new video. Have a wonderful day. Bye.